Okay, welcome everybody. We are live once again on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I'm Rabbi Chernitsky, Director of Chabad Newfoundland, the People's Rabbi. Welcome. We're continuing with the Jewish Wealth Secrets that can leash, continue with the essays, talks, letters of the Lubavitcher Rebbe on the topic of Tzedakah, very loosely translated as charity, especially if you've been following the first few classes. You know that charity is a poor translation. So let's take it away. I'm going to start reading from the PDF. We are studying from a holy book, a sefer called Sha'ari Tzedakah, the Gates of Tzedakah, which is a collection of all these teachings from the Lubavitcher Rebbe. And here we go. We're in subsection number Chav Hey 25. Maila Zachlot Gam Lefnei Nesina, the virtue of making the decision to give even before a person actually gives. Umatoi, and it will be even better, the Hachli Talzeh Behektim Efshori, to make a decision as soon as possible. Which is why right now the Rebbe is speaking to the people gathered in the main Chabad synagogue in Brooklyn. Right now we will give out dollar bills. The Lubavitcher Rebbe would have to do that, making everybody his messenger, shliach, to give tzedakah. Even though everybody would actually give it out the next day, tomorrow, so the strong decision about this will be as soon as possible. מדובר כמה פעמים by this פסק דין השולחן ערוך לחיים סעיף סימן תוף קוף עין א' סעיף ג'. As Ray spoke about many times about the ruling in the Code of Jewish Law, שכאשר מקבלים ההחלטות הטבע בנסיבה שנתלויה בהם אין יכולים לקיים בפוליטיקה מיד, so that whenever you make a good resolution and for whatever reason that's beyond the control, you're not able to fulfill it right away, כי אם לאחר זמן, only after some time. So the decision has the effect of the results. Just in other words, that the decision is as if you already took the action, and therefore there's already here, though you didn't do the action yet. That resolution. So too, when it comes to bringing close, and as soon as possible, making earlier the redemption, the achlate, through the resolution, the hoisif, the mitzvah tzedakah, to add the mitzvah of tzedakah, so that's the same as the result of actually giving tzedakah, which brings the redemption sooner, as the Talmud says. Great tzedakah that brings the redemption closer. Continue here below. הדרך הצחוס, למיתו של דבר אין סי צחוס כלל, שהתיצור של די החלט הקודם בוי זמן הפעולה יכול להיות באופן עלייס מאשר בבוי זמן הפעולה. So the Rebbe says really in a certain way, the effect of making the resolution even before you actually do it, it could be even greater than when you actually do it. Scrolling down. כאשר בו זמן הפעולה, when the time of the actual resolution to be fulfilled comes, יחל הקלוגינקר יצר הורה דבר בעניין של פנייה וכיוצא בזה. So then the wise man, this is Yiddish, the wise man, the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, could could distract a person with ulterior motives, etc., etc. He's not doing it for the right reason. He's doing it for an ulterior reason, for some, reason that detracts from the purity of the act. Which is not so at the time that the resolution is made, if nobody is before the time for the resolution to be fulfilled comes. So the wise guy, the evil inclination, doesn't need to know about this resolution. If he does know, he does not try, and for sure he doesn't try in a way that's beyond the limits of nature, to confuse the person and to prevent it. It's only speaking of something that involves thought. It's just a thought, a plan to do. When speaking about actually giving to the poor, and therefore Although the action is missing at the time you make the resolution, and the hamaisu hu ha'ikar, like it says in the Pirkei Avos, Ethics of the Fathers, the main thing is action. Yeah. Harei ka'asher medubar this atitzoa nipe'eles likima mitzvot tzedakah kiri v'geula yechol Yehudi litanu ezbei. Now, however, when it comes to the result was accomplished by doing the mitzvah tzedakah, which is bringing the redemption closer, a Jew could have this following argument. Since every Jew has cheskes kashrus, we assume that he is a kosher person, that he will do as he said. שצריך ליאס על ידי פעולת הצדקה, מחשש שמא תהיה אצלו איזה פנייה. הייתכן להחשד בו. Says, how can you suspect that Jew? We just said the resolution is stronger than the action. Why? Because at the time of the resolution, there's no mixing in of the evil inclination, there's no mixing in of any ulterior motive. The Rebbe says 1 second. Every Jew has cheskes kashrus. You need to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Who says that's going to be the case? It's true, everybody has an evil inclination. Right? But he is also given the strength to overcome the Yitzhara that he should not disturb the Jew. More than this. You have the power to transform into holiness. Like it says, you should love the Lord your God with all your heart. You should have said hold your heart. Really means with both your hearts in the plural, which the Talmud says that means loving God with the good inclination, evil inclination, both inclinations. And for sure he'll do it. Okay. So what's the answer? Sorry. Okay, so I said it wrong before. We said this is the Rebbe answered it here. He has a Yetzer Hara, an evil inclination, but he has the ability to overcome him. Okay. So Rapi said, so based on this, Kasher Yehudi Machne Achlata Tov, when the Jew makes a good resolution, Uve Inyanino, in our case, the Hoisif Mitzvot Tzedakah, to add the Mitzvot Tzedakah, Asai Magilo, then he had take it from me out right away. He achieves, brings down everything that would have been brought down through the actual giving of tzedakah in the most complete sense. But the shlem was not in an even more complete way than after the action is done. So at the time he makes the solution, we can assume that he will do it in the fullest sense. So in other words, that at the time of the resolution, nothing is in the way. At the time of the action, it could be that the evil inclination will get in the way. Okay, subsection 26, Chavav. Nidbas yadcha matnas yadoi asher v'sheinei asher. This is all quoting different verses. Let's see inside. B'siyum parsha she'ei Mitzvah of Tzedakah ish kematnas yadoi. Kibrikas Hashem Elokecha Hashem Osalach. At the end of the parsha A, the Torah commands Mitzvah of Tzedakah. Each person according to how much he could give, like according to the blessing the Lord your God has given you. And the verse before it says Misa nidvas yadcha. The kan ish kematnas yadi. The earlier verse says, as your like donating spirit, nidvas yadcha. Our verse says, ish kematnas yadi, a person as much as he could give. So, what is the difference between these two expressions? That's what the Rebbe asks. Because Baruch Hu Hashem sustains everybody. But Hu San Gam Sanim, he sustains the poor too. Elo Shesan Isam Be'ofen Shemak Be'es Chelkam Esrashim, but how does he support them? By putting the portion by the rich. Hey Mashiach, and then the rich machzir anim sasikum amuvchat Islam. The rich return to the poor that sum of money that's really as a deposit to them from God. Chelik anim. Anim tzadlam bekipikal that they has a deposit to begin with. It wasn't theirs. Right, as we saw in previous classes. Lachain, therefore, b'shashi with him is nitpach b'kosh baruch b'sharav. When a Jew is blessed from God with great wealth, harei sheitach and sheyizbu mimeno shetzedakah could be that they ask him they should give charity. Asher that's my idea. Asher chusher ravinu shalai. And the rich person should know his great wealth is not really his. So shach and he belongs to the poor. Lemoisa Torah v'chesed of Torah and kindness. Umunach it's like he becomes the levad. Then it's only by him as a deposit. Mekem shekach, since that's the case, Arishafilu, he may not need even if not a generous person. Vafilu achsan rachman litzlan, even if God forbid he'll be cruel. Murak adam yashar, if he is just an upright person, a straight person, a mensch, if he's not going to take money that doesn't belong to him, that belongs to a stranger, quote unquote. It's not his money. They have to be generous. The reason it's not your money. The money that you have is a deposit to give to the poor, to help others. Therefore, the tzedakah that's asked from him is not as a donation, voluntary. Rather, you need to give the money to the person that it belongs to. It never belonged to you to begin with. Nevertheless, we need to make sure the other verse, right? It should be like a gift, like literally, like a gift of your hand. So the deposit, which we already established, the deposit, I need to return it to the poor. To any tzedakah purpose. She thank him, which means don't give with an angry face. Give with a happy face, happy countenance. The way you give a gift. And that a gift is given with a good eye. Literally, generously. Here that everybody reads it literally. Quote from the Talmud. Okay. The reward you receive from God for giving the tzedakah is very great. So to Hashem gives you generously with a good eye. As the Talmud says, Talmud says if you give a coin, fruit of the smallest coin in the time of the Talmud, you give a coin to the poor, you get blessed with 6 blessings. But if you appease the poor, and pius, appeasement, has the same letters as Yosef, which is the Hebrew for Joseph, which also means to add. He is blessed with 11 blessings. By giving tzedakah with somebody who does not have a lot of money. Right? However, we had here give tzedakah but somebody doesn't have a lot of money. He's gonna think God gave him the money. Why? So he should support himself and his family members. But Avraham and Yaakov, who are also descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, also Jewish. That according to Jewish law, even if you give them a meal like King Solomon and at the height of his kingdom, there wouldn't be enough to what they really to satiate what they really deserve. And therefore he's not obligated to give from his money to tzedakah. He's supporting his family. What's wrong with that? And even if he's rich, and he could argue. It's true. I was given wealth to also give to tzedakah. However, nevertheless, it's the wealth is mine, and I'm the owner. I decide. It's my choice. Ryan, what's the proof? Because the money that I have to give to tzedakah, I could betroth a woman, and if it wasn't mine, the betrothal wouldn't be valid according to Jewish law. So Medes la Torah, the Torah therefore says, "Tein nidvas yad give as a donation." Even if you're not obligated, even if you don't feel you're obligated, alihudli is nediv, so give us a donor as a voluntary. as a volunteer. Even if you are not obligated, you think you're not obligated, nedav. So give Rabbi out of the goodness of your heart. Okay, so let's finish up here. Say the Ksuv Persinahu. The order of the verse in our parsha is like this. Tchila, first it says, the amount of the donation of your hand. Afterwards it says, give like the gift of your hand, his hand. Because the verse that says, like the gift of your hand, is not just an order or commandment for a certain type of people, like the rich people. But also the Zilschad give a reward. Excuse me, I would kill for fulfilling the commandment. So that's why the verse speaks of giving in a voluntary way. Then it speaks about giving like a gift, because the second verse, which speaks about giving like a gift, it's not just obligating everybody to give, rich or not, but also speaks about the reward for doing the previous verse, giving even though you don't feel you're obligated to give. When a Jew fulfills the commandment, giving from the goodness of your heart, not looking at the fact that he's not wealthy. He used to different charities. He gives to a Levite who doesn't have land in Israel, to a convert, and to an orphan, to a widow. He gives them with a wide hand more than he can. So then God promises he's going to have such a situation, such a reality of kematnas yadoi. He's not going to have to give out of the goodness of his heart. He's going to be able to give without even thinking about it. He's not going to have to give when he really doesn't have enough. He's going to have to so much that he'll feel obligated. And he'll give with a happy way like a gift. He's going to be able to give away with a gift. Because Aleph, number one, he's going to have a lot of wealth, a lot of property, and a big family. And also, number two, this is all quoting the other words from the verses we quoted before. He's going to have the desire to give tzedakah with a happy countenance. With a gift, that he gives with a generous eye, with a good eye. I'll continue, God willing, next week, page 74. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, I'm Rabbi Chernitsky, director of Chabad of Newfoundland. If you'd like to send us a comment, you could post it here or send us an email. Guess what it is? RabbiNewfoundland@gmail.com. Guess what our website is? RabbiNewfoundland.com. That directs you to the Chabad website. Have a blessed week. God willing, we'll continue with the Tanya classes, the Kabbalah of the Soul, this coming Monday. So stay tuned. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe.